Hukari tên khó thế nhỉ. Game này chắc OG lắm, tại vì đội hình nó Nobon tốt hơn. Con voi về sau không có đam thì không có nào, không có đam khủng nào để mà vô cái lòng hết, không có thể disable nhiều. Thiếu disable trầm trọng. Vô làm sao Như cắt. Nói vậy sao mà em tìm được? Cắt đéo ghép được rồi. Cắt ấy. Ghép được thì đủ má mà gãy à.
Whoa! Whoa!
这大概就是年轻人的操作吧。
Бррр. Ладно, смотрим дальше.
Con el wombo combo perfecto. Con el wombo combo perfecto.
Partida tensa, partida complicada. Блин, ты очень умно придумал.
My keyboard is not working.
Вуаля.
Partida tensa, partida complicada.
Wow!
这大概就是年轻人的操作吧。
Ладно, смотрим дальше.
Partida tensa, partida complicada.
Блин, ты очень умно придумал.
3、2、1，走！
who once he gets on top of this Zeus, there's not much Zeus can do. He goes in with Crixer Cloak, but then he comes back out and just kind of gives away his life. So, really great fight for OG. I mean, this could be game over here, or at least lanes of racks.
I mean, that swing is massive. It was a 7k swing in terms of just the fight with the kills that happened. Then you add Roshan, you add an Aghanim Scepter, you add all of the pushing that OG can now do as they break up into this dire base, and we've got the game turned on its head yet again. No Faceless Void for another 5 seconds, but it's also the fact he has no Chrono for 15, no Refresher Orb for 50. Difficult times for Corey. Losing a lane of barracks here, and I mean, OG, can they shift up top and get a second? Or is this fallback time?
There is one Chronosphere to worry about. I think the Chrono plus the Zeus is enough to deter anything. The Zeus has buyback to play around as well, so they'll get just the one lane, which means, massive lead for OG. Suddenly it's a 25k gold lead, but at the same time, Hikori still in this one, and we'll get a chance to reset and try and take the next team fight in a better way. They've got to find a way to use this double Chronosphere and have the Zeus on the outskirts dishing out damage. That's going to be absolutely key for them.
Corey gonna know where they are. OG setting up their defensive line. You just see the positioning from Misha, BZM, and Amar here. Everyone's got mobility, so they can kind of bait out an Earth Spirit or an Alk for a turnaround play with the rest of them.
Razor now with a completed Heart of Tarrasco with the Satanic, just insane fight. I feel like Amar was the hero of that last fight. He's become the true carry. This Alchemist, melee hero getting kited a bit, is 6-slotted, but it's Amar's Razor who just gets on top of people with this Alchemist and just absolutely obliterates these fights.
I mean, they've also got this Aghanim Scepter on Tiger as well. Able to turn something into stone on Chrono, so another saving tool for OG to play around with. You're only taking lots of damage though, getting blown up by the Zeus, and that spell amp does not get saved, so the Aegis is claimed, and the Lumiere is in with a 2-man Chrono, aiming for BZM. The Kiss is zoning out the back lines, and Misha, he's the target as they do kick away Yuragi. BZM still up and running, while Amar trying to retreat from the high ground, but he's tanky with that Heart of Tarrasque. Chronoed up, catching Yuragi and Amar though, and Hikori defending their high ground. And the BKB's up for the Alchemist as Tiger rolls back in, magnetized to zone and control up Analog. Tiger and BZM though getting shredded. The double Cyclone sent skywards, but landing down with a lightning zap. Zeus clears them up, and a triple for Lumiere's Faceless Void. Chaotic team fights, swinging back and forth in this game, but Hikori defend their base.
Yeah, just there's so much pressure on Tiger to get these saves off. They blow up the Aegis at almost zero cost to themselves because Tiger's trying to play in the trees to get a jump. It looked like he was trying to use this axe to maybe initiate in and catch somebody, but unfortunately for OG, it's Hikori who actually get a quick jump, take out the Aegis, and then get 2 pretty nice Chronospheres off. The second one especially catching 2 cores. Tiger does get the save on one hero with the Enchant Remnant and kicks him away, but it's just not quite enough because they need the Void to hero without buyback is the one they have to threaten. And the entire fight, Lumiere is just going untouched, unthreatened, and just dishing out absurd amounts of damage. Similar story for the Zeus. Like the two big cores of Akori were just not being dealt with.
A little gobble up there. Watching it back. Misha, right place to save BZM from the Chrono. Lots of tools for OG, but Corey with the firepower to break through it all, and another DD rune for them as we go back to live and see Analog getting solo kill down by Uragi.
Okay, and that's considering Hikari just won a big fight. To have that happen next is, you know, moment of mental slippage perhaps. Is up until now it felt like all the Hikari team hadn't really been getting picked off solo at all. So. Big find for the Alchemist. Buys some time to reset things here. Not sure if OG have the strength to kind of push forward. Going for any kind of a high ground push just because Zeus is dead is very scary when he likely has buyback from their perspective and you're pushing into double Chronosphere.
Still back into the same position though. Top jungle belongs to OG. I'm not sure what that line is from Gardic, drawing a line from top down to the bottom tier 2. And Lumiere is out on the map farming, but he's going to come back and defend. It looks like OG starting their commitment onto this tier 3. Alchemist front lining.
Refresher in 20 seconds, so for now it's only one Chrono to worry about.
And already Eon Disc popped out on Gardic. Amar's aggressive move, causing a bit of a scramble there from Hikari, and BZM diving as well. The poking kisses now to give a bit of suppressing fire, allowing Alk to bring down the buildings. Tier 3 already crumbling and now aiming for this melee barracks. Hikari need a way to enter this fight. And so far, OG have done a very good job at stopping that from happening.
At the same time, I think Hikari do a good job not forcing a fight while Zeus is dead. They don't want to use his buyback there. Puts him in a very, game-losing kind of situation. Your Zeus buys back and dies again, it's game over. So they're just looking to stall, and they do it, only losing a range racks at this stage of the game, 15 minutes in. You're fine with that. Both teams are going to reset. Perhaps look for that next big smoke play and next Roshan fight as well. Although we're kind of getting to that point where there's not a whole lot of room for Roshas to keep, for Aegis to keep being carried. Alk is starting to pull a lot of Acceptors too. It looks like he's pulled one and he's about to give a second one now.
Who's he going to give it to then? That's just the Razor that doesn't have one? Yeah, everyone else has got one way or the other.
Give one to BZM at some point and then BZM can sell his Acceptor. That's an option just because, Alk, you kind of want those bonuses from the Chemical Rage.
That's true. Corey. Theo. He's smoked here. And just trying to kill the wave off with the help of Spiderlings. And Amar sending not only the illusion forward, but his hero as well. Cutting in behind Hikari here to make sure this lane continues to push towards the Dire base. And this is the difficulty, top lane's on your melee barracks. Mid lane's being pushed in as well. You were in a decent spot on that ancient platform, but you've got to come back and defend.
Corey forced to retreat back to their base. We're seeing a lot of these level 25s come out as well as Acceptors we don't always see. The Broodmother with the Spinach Snare, giving some extra vision up on the map and scouting potential. Really nice for some of these ramps where you can just kind of lay a snare and kind of see everyone coming in. The Brood also level 25 means the Silken Bowl on this chance and slow is up to 90%. Ooh, you get that on somebody who doesn't have BKB. Like, you put that on Razor or Alk, and that's brutal.
6 seconds, yeah. Earth Spirit having to BKB and roll. Spending some cooldowns there, Tiger, just to get away from Hikari. It's really beautiful showing here from both teams. Creating vacuums on the map, then relinquishing control for a second to take a better spot, falling away when you're feeling like you're not strong enough to fight. And they're battling over these high grounds on the top jungle and the Dire Ancient area, just being a non-stop back and forth of smoke into smoke, play into play. There's no real kills or team fights. It's just about finding positions to enable you to think about Roshan, to think about defending your base, looking for these choke point battles for Lumiere and this big Alchemist of Uragi.
Teams continue to foster Which becomes so precious at this stage of the game. There is one on Nisha's Snapfire, so I'm sure Roshan coming into play soon. So look at Corey.
Nếu mà nói căn nhà này tính luôn giá trị đất
probably
là 1 tỷ 650 triệu.
He does have
Chắc
buyback
nhiều
and
anh
he
chị
is
em á
6
nghĩ
loaded.
là chắc là nhà này là nhà sổ chung, quy bằng hay gì nè. Nhưng mà không nha, nhà này là sổ hồng riêng, thổ cư là 100 mét. Còn lại là đất cây lâu năm, nằm ở khu vực cách An Sương khoảng chừng 72 km nha, cách An Sương Sài Gòn 72 km, thuộc thị xã và thành của tỉnh Tây Ninh nha quý vị. Có tới 3 phòng ngủ, 2 phòng vệ sinh, nhà xây nè, 2 khu sân vườn luôn. Bên hông, rồi phía đằng sau. Số anh chị em nào tầm tiền này mà làm được giống như thế này mà sở hữu một lô đất ngon luôn nha. Để xem chi tiết mà các bạn vô YouTube gõ từ khóa nhà có hồ bơi
Tombstone's down and Lumiere's there in the pit hitting away. OG got to do something about this.
Do they feel like they have to stop this one? Do they feel like they have the ability to team fight into double Chronosphere as well? Gobble up, toss in a creep.
That's going to scare Hikori for a second, and Lumiere realizing, no, there's no commitment. I'm going to go back into the Roche pit. Getting dragged by the Ether Remnant into the kisses and the roll. They've got a bit of chain stun here onto the Faceless Void, but Lumiere's able to get the Chrono off. Onto the two of them inside the pit. Grabs up the Aegis and a shard as Uragi's chasing Analog on the right-hand side. But this Faceless Void, taunted, stunned and controlled. OG doing everything they can, but Lumiere just refuses to die. First life finally claimed up as OG kill off him and the Undying. Cheese grabbed by the Earth Spirit. As Lumiere inside the pit still with his BKB to go, gets another Chrono, finding Uragi's Alchemist and whacking him down. That's him gone. A huge fight for Lumiere's Void, and there seems like nothing can stop him here. Gets away from the two spirits. Amado with a triple kill on the other side. Did find the Undying another time as Theo forcing himself away from the Razor, but it's still this Lumiere show. Getting gobbled up and spat on, rolled upon by Tiger BZM and Uragi. The control! The Abyssal Blade right at the last second. Kills off the Faceless Void, and OG with the buybacks. I mean, are they victors here in this fight? They've come out on top.
They've used a lot of buybacks, but also on the dire side, you're going to be forcing out a Void buyback most likely. An absolutely chaotic fight. Amara just doing another great job getting on the back lines, initially dealing with the Void. The Static Link stealing attack speed now as well, making Void's first life basically useless, but the second life of Void carrying the team fight. Amara's going for the throne here. Void has to buy back. I feel like if they want to stand a chance to defend this one.
Yeah, they've got this Aghanim Scepter Razor shredding through buildings. Tier 4's looking worse for wear. And the roll in. Good gobble up. Analog being focused. Amara's moved in aggressively, and BZM hunting for the Zeus. The buyback from the Faceless Void is here, but he's got no Chronos to play with. Has to time walk away, but they will get a Thunder God's Wrath out. Kill off Tiger and aim for Amar. The trouble being, your throne is falling. No glyph available for the Dire team. Faceless Void has to fight mano a mano against the Alchemist. They've got the little piggy dead. He's gone for 2 minutes now, and Lumiere, he gets a double kill and looks for BZM. All the blink away. Another Dissimilate available after this Yule Scepter. He needs to create space and survive. Lumiere looking for the bashes or the bushwhack, and he finds it. The big Aghanim Scepter there, allowing the time lock to land onto BZM.
Absolute chaos between these two teams. A 6k gold swing in that fight. It's just the Zeus doing 12,000 hero damage. Did have to use a buyback here, so it's as well as the Faceless Void. So these two heroes, any death on them could spell the demise of Hikori, but they know Alk as well as Snapfire do not have any buyback at all for this defense. So they've got a 5 versus 3 for the next 60 seconds, and they're charging forward. They're pushing out these lanes. They want to seal the deal with this game, but they've got their work cut out for them. There's tier 3 towers as well as tier 4s and a throne. I don't think they've got enough time to go for throne. Not with the glyph resetting here. It's going to be OG just looking to give up a lane or two of racks in order to buy time for the Alchemist to respawn, I imagine.
Yeah, but still, you've got double Chrono now. Refresher Orb up on the Zeus, so double Nimbus and Thunder God's Wrath. Even a double Eon Disc gonna help him out in these fights. And you've got a Refresher Shard on Gardic. So double Tombstone. Eon Disc used very early on, but this tier 3 cleared up by Hikori. Let's see what they do. Is it tier 4s and throne, or is it, like you say, just a couple of lanes of barracks?
The good thing about the other side lanes is you're not resetting the glyph, because what OG have is triple glyph. They've already used one, but they've got two more. You kill a tier 4 tower, it resets the glyph, and I think Hikori are going to be like, okay, whoa!
Lumiere, he's straight onto the two cores, but the gobble up save. The play there, the second
next
chrono will
though.
come in, catches 3 of them, and Lumiere's killed off the Void Spirit. No heroes for OG left now. They've all been destroyed by Lumiere. The Razor, he's in a 1v5, stuck in between the Hikori heroes. Tried to static link back onto Analog, and he's incredibly tanky with his Satanic and Hard, but Lumiere's got the damage to bring him to his knees. Uragi and Amar, 2 versus 4 now. And
No
Hikori,
chronos, but it's like you say, 2 versus 4 is no chronos enough to take this fight.
there's 2 tombstones still on the floor as well. And this Time Walk Aghanim Scepter with the Time Locks landing is incredibly irritating. Lumiere just jumping back and forth, but he's a Blitzer bladed up. The stun from Uragi and the damage from the Razor, but look at how much Hikori can push onto Uragi's Alk. He's about to fall through his BKB and dead for 100 seconds.
It should just be GG now. Nobody to defend the base here. Except for Amaz Razor, all by his lonesome self.
Try as he might, you cannot fight against Hikori's 4 members in your base. Down goes the Razor. Tier 4's cracked open now. And GG called. Hikori tied up 1-1. It was a very close game, though.
Honestly, what a DotA game. This was so much fun to watch. OG, it felt like they were out of this game for a while at some point, and then suddenly they won an insane team fight and were, in the driver's seat for a bit. But at some point, all it took was Hikori to land some of these chronospheres. I think that high ground push at the end, what Lumiere does, he just keeps time walking in and then like reverse time walking back as if this like be like, okay, let's just see who's there. And then like the 3rd or 4th time he did it, he finally actually threw a chronosphere when he went in. And I think he just completely caught OG by surprise there. OG thought they were safe by their tier 4 towers. Just not the case. They just needed to hide and wait for the 5v5 fight, but they got kind of caught with their pants down and forced to take a fight before the Al could even respawn.
I mean, this Faceless Void pick, it really was the Lumiere show all the way through. Getting himself to a point where he's got multiple chronos. And well, that was their second pick, right? The Faceless Void. You said that we've seen a lot of these players and teams pick the Void into the Razor feeling like it's a counter, but even just going into late game, he feels like the king.
Oh, absolutely. And I think Void, when it comes to super late game DotA, is probably one of the best carries in DotA because Chronosphere just double Chronosphere just takes people out of the game. Enemy carry, well, guess what? You're perma-stun, regardless of BKBs and items. They did have some answers. They had both the Ag Scepter and Earth Spirit as well as the Gobble Up on Misha. We saw it a couple of times, but the second time it happened with Misha getting the Gobble Up, Lumiere just said, okay, you just give me a new chrono target. I'll chrono these 2 supports, plus, this Void Spirit, he's been gobbled up, so he's now locked in place as well. So, great adjustments throughout the game, You play a long 60-minute game, not every chronosphere is going to be perfect. There were a few whiffs along the way, but Lumiere hit them when it counted.
Yeah, no, I think a really great showing again from Hikori that, we get this thought that SA and SCA Dota, it's all about aggression, all about laning. You've got the intro boys in Southeast Asia. South America has always been known for, their flair and their flashy plays. But here, I think the majority of the game was, guarding the captaincy, the reading of the map and understanding where they needed to be at the right times. Because we had that period of like, 5-10 minutes later on into the game where it was this flow of back and forth of kind of one team mirroring the other, chasing around the map, really kind of circling around Roshan, looking for that prime position to team fight.
Yeah, and I think OG just, at some point couldn't play it wasn't like they played badly. It's just so much harder for them to play the strategic game, which when they're not scaling quite as well, they had to kind of pull a miracle out of the hat. And Hikori, understanding that, were very patient. I think it's such a good point to make. This wasn't a game where they were just all out aggression. The game ends up being a bit of a bloodbath in terms of like 42 to 45, but that's because it went 60 minutes and had all these crazy big team fights happening. It was just great to see the patience from Hikori.
But yeah, your point about Chronos there, like, okay, Alk has 40,000 net worth, Razor 35 grand. They've all been given Ags or gotten goodies from Roshan. It doesn't matter if you're chronoed. And a well-deserved match MVP there for Lumiere's Faceless Void. 21-5 and 19.
Yeah, not much more you can ask for your carry player. Stellar performance, even with I think, there were times where he like bought out his Scotty and didn't have buyback. And, I think I was like, a bit unsure of it at the time, but the Skadi ended up being a really kind of key item for him in some of these fights to just stop people from kiting him and just deal with basically these kind of core matchups as well at the same time. So 60k damage on a Faceless Void, Zeus ending the game with over 100,000 damage.
Oh, wow.
Just massive stuff from the whole team, and you know, this is the man who was landing those big team fight ultis to secure the win in the end. I mean, 21, 5, and 19. That is pretty monstrous scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, you know it was a good game when it goes to 60 minutes, and it didn't feel like it was 60 minutes. I just looked at the time; it was a 59-minute game. That felt like, you know, an action-packed 30-minute game where everyone was fighting non-stop. It does end 42-45, so there was no shortage of brawling there. But the series all tied up. Hokori with yet another 1-1. While OG, I think that's their first tie of the group stage. As, of course, plenty more Dota in front of us. So next up, Beast Coast against Talon, as we can take a quick break and return with our next series after this.
Now play.
A tithe to the impurities.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Penance.
Oh no! Mirror, not like this. Resolution. Distance. It doesn't matter what heroes they pair against the Primal Beast. It always seems like Resolution will have an incredible lane on this hero.
Really good job up on that top side. Even now with the phase boots completed up as well, you can't afford to leave Yatoro up here. You're going to constantly need to rotate back, and maybe that enables some sort of movement elsewhere, because you just hit level 6 on Rezo.
Uh-oh. Mirror's going to try and TP back in to help out.
Need the mana burn creep if you could just force him to use out all those spells defensively.
So what's the call now for Spirit? Are we hoping that Toronto Tokyo is going to start to influence some of the other lanes?
I think they might even just be waiting for Nisha to actually make that first rotation, right? He's going to move down towards the Radiant jungle, just doing this thing, shoving in the lane, getting a lot of the farm on Toronto Tokyo, but we don't want him to make his movement. A kill's not enough. It needs to be a kill into a tower to allow Yatoro to go back and be able to pick up that farm for himself, because while Collapse is having a fantastic game, it's coming at the expense of your carry.
He is having such an incredible game though, isn't he, on Collapse? Top of the net worth. It's had Midas for a little bit of time now, so it's going to get another use out of it.
Zero downtime. To see... I know you love that with the Midas.
Yes. Getting have the efficiency going. The post-grunt sides. See if he's going to have to damage himself. They do have Nisha starting to move over, so it's going to be a little bit too late to pop to the north. Nisha should still get a return kill nonetheless, but Maposhka's pretty happy with that. A solo kills a lot of experience, and the concern I had from Spirit was just maybe how late they would be requiring out of the hookshot to be making early game plays. So the fact that he gets all that experience is going to be really nice for them.
But I mean, just have a look at this bot lane. Chrysalis was not forced back into the jungle, but he doesn't feel confident laning up into this Doom because he's level 7. He hasn't got the point skilled up into the Doom itself yet, but do, and Ursa's just standing there. He's pretty vulnerable to just dying this early on with how farmed Collapse is. So let's need to... his game, if you get a kill onto Collapse, that would be enormous for not just his confidence, but slowing down a tempo a little bit.
Really needs this kill to connect here on Secret. They need to start to open up the map. Get Nisha close towards the blink and find your Toro farming in the jungle. They're going to see the creeps off to the right side. They'll drop the ward as well, so they'll know exactly where the positioning is of the troll. Someone else is starting to TP in as well. He does not have a level in the battle trance, so it looks like Secret... Oh no, Yatoro lives. Whirling Axes is enough. Really important now. Secret aren't able to convert on that.
And they're going to scout out the fact that it's warded up there as well. So nice free D ward coming through for Mira. Be able to pick that up. Might even get the ult.
Potentially free.
Potentially free. Nice stun.
And Toronto Tokyo
the arcade route
involved as well. We know a lot of spells were used prior. They're going to turn to try and deal with the last track, making it difficult for Toronto to look to enter.
Or not.
Even Maposka wants to get involved.
When Rezo shows, though, you can't look to pin onto this. He's way too strong.
Is under attack.
That he is indeed, but still, both sides respect each other. Back and forth, seeing the weaknesses, but none are being shown at the moment. No cracks.
No cracks right now. Does allow Yatoro to be able to make that rotation towards mid. He'll deal with the catapult wave as well. Worried about losing that tower, and this is the thing. We said that Team Spirit were wanting to, Team Secret were wanting to up the tempo. Every time you're able to take out the siege creep waves, it's going to be beneficial.
Hook shot in. They're even going to try and rotate Collapse as well. He's got the Doom and the Blink already. 11 minutes in. But where's the follow-up though? That's where Toronto Tokyo is going to come into play. They can connect onto the Primal Beast and stop the escape as an incredible movement from Spirit, catching Secret off guard with the Blink Dagger timing.
Yeah, and Yatoro is like, thanks boys, I'm just going to chill back and farm. Mid Collapse, what a god coming through. He might even be able to get another kill here, or at the very least force another TP rotation to come out from Crystallis. Every time that this happens and you're not getting a high value kill, it's a huge amount of your time and farm wasted. He needs to get into that early diffusal blade and make the impact happen, and he might have made a rotation just for nothing. Koshka TP's away.
Jeez. Oh no. I mean, you're now really hoping that Nisha with this Blink coming out shortly that they're able to find some kills off the back of it. I mean, the Tumbler's Toy is without a doubt going to be able to help out with Tiny's game, but not the start you'd be hoping for if you were Secret.
No, absolutely not. They wanted to have the net worth lead at this stage. They wanted to dominate that bottom lane, make sure that you weren't able to get into this lead, and feels like they're going to have a lot of difficulties with being able to take out Collapse, especially if he's going to be able to get into a BKB timing equivalent to that diffusal blade. That's going to be the big issue.
But I don't believe had any vision of a Poshka in the tree line, but somehow sidesteps the hook shot. He will still be chased down nonetheless, and Toronto Tokyo is able to move in and get a kill. Thank you very much, Maposhka. I'll take that. Level 10 on the left track, and now with maxed out Edict, this will be a tower going the way of Spirit.
He needed it though, to be fair. The Toronto Tokyo last hit, it's so important we mentioned being able to get into that Bloodstone. That little bit of extra survivability in these engagements. Not the longest cooldown anymore as well, so it really enables you to consistently take these team fights.
They're rushing.
Reversa draft. Let's help out a little bit. Make sure that Chen creep starts to tank it up a little bit, but they're scouted it out.
Oh. Dire's top tower.
Got it into well.
20. Looks like they might be a little bit too late. Flash with a blink, can he time it? I'm not going to go for it. Big ages to pick up here from Chrysalis. It's allowing that second Roche to spawn at a faster timing, and for them, they're getting very close to a stage where they're ready to go. Resolution's going to have a great timing on the BKB. You got Diffusal Blade almost completed, Serpent Ward to the ready, but really the other important thing is this mechanism on Poppy not completed. They can get some kills, you can really do a lot of damage into the objectives.
Oh, for sure. Even just the Seeds of Serenity, it might not feel like that much, but when Yatoro is locked in onto someone, you just drop it down, provides them with a little bit of that extra survivability. No points to the Divine Favor just yet, and no Hand of God.
Speaking of Yatoro, is really far pushed up forward, and with Nisha's Blink as well, an easy kill for Secret to find a much needed kill for them.
Yeah, very, very greedy coming through there from him. I mean, he hadn't picked up the Battle Fury just yet. I think it was almost available on the Courier. No, never mind, about 600 gold away with that as well. Puppy was just sitting mid, getting his level 6. Now the Hand of God's available, and now maybe you look to make that aggressive movement with the Aegis. The Diffusal Blade, I believe, coming out for Crystallis. We've got the Mass Serpent Wards back up again.
This is... all the timings aligning here for Secret. Like, you are ready to go. The Nyx Assassin is very weak into a 5-man. You know that the Troll Warlord is going to have some difficulties with getting involved as well. Trying to see what Secret, how they want to set themselves up, if they're just going to brute force down mid, or if they feel like they need a pick-off, or they can maybe start to put some damage into the tower.
Yeah, obviously it's not ideal for Yatoro to die on the bottom side, but I can see why they were doing it. You know, he knows that that timing was coming very shortly, so they wanted to make sure that every single rotation would be completely obvious, right? So if the lane's pushing in underneath the tower, and they're not showing on the map, something's up. So causes his death, slows down that Battle Fury timing. Does mean that they still didn't take a tower off the back of that. What Secret do in the next couple of minutes that's going to determine the outcome of this game, I think.
It's like they were just waiting for the BKB on resolution. Now starting to be delivered on the courier.
And you've got the siege creep
10 as well.
Play around that mirror. Gonna do his best maybe to try and shove this one out. Not wanting to commit the impale, of course, in case a team fight freaks out, but just pulling the wave underneath the tower, making sure that the siege creep is going to get hit down by the tower as opposed to being protected. Low invade from Secret, just slowly taking a bit more of the map control away from Team Spirit. Still look to play around that siege creep. I wonder if Zayats is going to look to just commit the Mass Serpent Ward super early on into this, or if they feel like they could take the Tier 1 tower because of how strong they hit their timings.
Gonna jump on Miro. Tonto Tokyo's off the right side, ready to provide some assistance, but yeah, no, you're not gonna look to enter the fight as soon as it starts like that. So Secret get a kill into an objective. And now they're going to look to try and occupy some of the jungle.
If they could catch Collapse, that'd be a big kill, but he's playing underneath his vision, and he's got the BKB as well if he wanted to make more of an aggressive jump. Might just be looking to wait for Mira to be back up online.
Dire's middle tower is under
going to
attack.
move on forward. Being back, respecting the threat of Chrysalis. Both sides able to clean up the observer wards. Chrysalis sticking around, but...
Spirit are happy with this. You know, it's a heavy rotation. They were forced to use the Mass Serpent Wards because they weren't confident in being able to take the Tier 1 tower without it. Means that you're still able to defend the Tier 2. You can have more space to farm on Yatoro. He's got the Battle Fury and he's going into that BKB, and you certainly feel a lot more strong once you've got that to play with.
Collapse might be in trouble top. He's going to be quick on the fingers, but Zayats still gets the BKB off, and Collapse going to turn it around. Wants to kill onto the Shadow Shaman instead. Get the deny another damage. Oh my, Chrysalis just rips apart, sinking the claws deeper into the Doom. And that is big now. An ultimate use BKB as well. You can get more out of the map if you're Secret.
Yeah, they're going to try and do a little bit of a push onto the top side, but again, Shadow Shaman deny, great. Don't have the Mass Serpent Wards anyway, but you're still forced to TP back, so they don't actually get too much out of this top side of the map. Little bit of damage into it, but no glyph being used. Forces, again, Secret back to be playing a little bit more defensive. They've got some timings coming up, I suppose, with the Sange coming through from the Primal Beast. I would assume he's going to go into the Halberd this time around against the Troll Warlord as opposed to the Kaya Sange.
Oh, man. Nyx Assassin again, what a hero, but really it's the player that makes it shine. Pops the smoke from Zayats and Chrysalis.
Points the haste, maybe. Yeah. Love to give it over to Toronto Tokyo, but this speedy little roaming observer ward, even better. So close to his own Blink Dagger as well, just to set up for a few of these team fights.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
If they want to try and... Do you feel like you want to force if your Spirit now? Knowing the Aegis is down, you just got some of your own items?
Maybe now that you've got the Kaya on Toronto Tokyo, you're feeling confident enough. I mean, you'll have Bloodstone Kaya, which is a pretty big spike. Got the Blink Dagger on the Nyx Assassin. Got Doom with the BKB available once again. So, yeah, they're feeling confident enough to be able to make this push forward. But I like Secret. I like the fact that they've taken this Tier 2 tower away. It means that they can occupy the jungle. Again, shrink the amount of space that Yatoro has to be able to farm. Enables them to have that extra control for the second Roshan. Ursa draft, right? We know how important it is for him to be able to claim that free Aghanim Shard for himself.
Very, very important for him to have that extra little survivability.
Under attack.
See how both sides are able to get themselves set up here for that next fight that's eventually going to occur. I feel like Spirit, the big reason if they're going to come out on top depends on Collapse and who he can use his ultimate on. Who do you feel like is that prime target? Who does he need to focus down in these fights with the Doom?
Depends who he makes the initiation onto. I feel like as long as you could block out, I would probably say the Primal Beast, to be honest, before he's able to use the BKB, then you're just a slow right-clicker at that stage, and then you just don't need to worry about him at all. You can pop your own BKB, you can run at the Shadow Shaman, and look to take him out with just some of your right-click damage and a lot of the other tools that you have at your disposal.
On lane Collapse.
Basher, yeah, but
we'll slump into the BKB.
They BKB for it, though. You're happy about that on Spirit, and maybe that opens up the opportunity for Secret to make their own move. picked up.
Now for them.
Yep, DD, Echo Saber, now Nisha becomes a little bit more of a team threat. It's this roller coaster constantly, right? Going back and forth with who's strong at what period around what timings. They really do feel like they need to play around these BKBs quite heavily. Again, make more time for Yatoro to be able to pick up his. He's only about 700 gold away. Too many camps for him to be able to farm, and he knows that without Doom having that BKB for himself, he has to play a little bit more defensively, which means that Yatoro doesn't have the freedom to farm. He's not in this jungle. He's just off inside the tree line as Secret going for the next pickoff to lead into a tower with the Mass Serpent Wards.
He forced the issue here. Kill him to an objective, getting some map control potentially with the Roche spawning shortly as well.
They've read it.
Have a lot.
They've read it on Spirit. They're grouping up together at the top of these stairs, making sure to pick up these kills. Maposhka as well. Look at this. He's even stacking inside of the Radiant jungle. It's going to be under vision though, so I wonder if that's going to get scouted out and have a response to it by Secret. You're not quite at the stage yet where you might be looking to go into the Roche pit, although actually it's a 2-second respawn time. This is going to fit Secret entirely as they make that rotation back.
Down.
Yep.
Nisha able to get onto the postcard. A couple of members of Spirit are nearby. They actually want to take the team fight. Who's going to jump in with a float from Victoria? They need a way to be able to cancel the shackles. Flap's going to try and target out Crystals the moment the Doom being applied to the Ursa. They've got the 4th damage thanks to Toronto Tokyo leading to the middle of the fight as well, but it's not enough. There's Resolution now. Looks to hit back with the Pulverize. The damage instantly negated thanks to Mira's Spike Carapace. The Toronto Tokyo is gone unaddressed. They were trying to blow him up, but it just wasn't enough, and our Spirit can catch up to Nisha onto the left side. But Resolution, he wants to hit back and charge into the middle and dancing off to the right side. Mira's got the blink back up in a couple of seconds. They know that they can catch up to the Primal Beast.
Pretty speedy.
No, Nisha's also nearby. Beautifully done. Stops the blink. Mira's still always gonna miss. Oh, Nisha, incredibly done from himself. Just enables Resolution. The only issue was if the Nyx Assassin could get on top of him, and Nisha make sure that was not the case.
Remember game 1, TI 10 Grand Final. Similar sort of thing happens with Mira. Just a little bit off with that stun coming through. Ends up giving up the first blood. This time around, it would have been a super valuable kill to be able to claim onto Rezo, who, I mean, are we surprised anymore? Top of the net worth for Secret. It really does feel like he's doing a big part of carrying this game. Miposhka survived for so long in this fight as well, just causing a little bit more emphasis to be given over onto him. It was a great Doom as well onto the Ursa, realizing that, look, if you can take him down, and Crystallis isn't able to do that right-click damage that's needed to be able to not only win the team fight, but he's the one that's going to be able to go into this Roche and take it. They still feel confident enough to be able to just run on in.
Zayat has to be addressed in this next team fight. He did way too much for them in Secret. A lot of the control that he was able to provide. We'll see if they will be able to do it in this fight.
I think so.
Going down, and Anisha's going to get the jump as well. Oh, a lot of damage blowing up Mira. And now the second Roche, the all-important Roche given over to Crystallis.
Yeah, and now it's just, yeah, you can farm, but you want to make good use out of this age. To be the farming Aegis where you can be on the enemy side of the map. Just be a little bit more greedy. Couple of minutes, 2-3 minutes. That's when Crystallis really wants to make his move with that BKB timing. Bind the Mass Serpent Wards together with that. Try and close out this game. And he's getting close to the Shadow Blade as well, so he's just going to go for pickoff to try and enable this, and they'll find one.
Poshka a little bit too late with the hook shot. And the rest of the boys, they don't want to follow up. Spirit, they're just going to look to get out, try and get the other lane shoved in. Post going to dance into the tree line.
Cheeky. Hey, individual plays coming through, again, causing all 3 cores to rotate down to the bottom side, and yeah, Rezo gives him the tip. He's like, all right, good work, man. Quite expecting that one to come through as the Arcane Rune now picked up by Nisha. They're tired of playing on their own side of the map. Maybe the call came from Puppy and saying, why are we going back there? We've got the Aegis, we've got the strength right now, and they're playing without a Doom. So let's drop the wards, let's push this tower in. Even if they pop the glyph, this tier 2's still going down. It's actually pretty big, right? I feel like the tier 2's still going to be under a pretty good amount of threat. And now, if you take the next team fight and win, they're not going to have that glyph for the tier 3 on the high ground.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Rezo.
They see Resolution alone at the moment. How do they get the jump? It's going to be off the back of Collapse. Oh, hooks it off the mark. Resolution. Let's see on the fingers as well with the BKB use. Let's see if this is going to mean that Spirit can take the fight.
Puppy might use a couple of his creeps to assist with taking the tower, but just wanting to understand the situation with, where Team Spirit were positioning themselves, and BKB being used on Rezo, they feel like they can go, and they've got a pretty good observer ward to be able to catch someone out. Quick kill onto Puppy, even Zayats as well.
It's a huge target if you can get vision of him. They said it's going to be in the top lane because they see Nisha collapse and Yutoro in combination together. Going to be able to get rid of the position too. Now back down to the south as well. They found another jump on Zayats. An incredible start to the team fight, but Spirit, they want more and they'll get it. Maposhka, 4 staffs down to the low gun, making sure that Puppy will not be able to slip on her way through the river.
Once again, they get out of this scary timing, right? You go for that probably a little bit too aggressive attempt by Rezo. He doesn't have the BKB to be able to fight just then, so he's forced to play back on his side of the map. And they got about 2 minutes left on the Aegis, and Chrysalis, he's been spending a little bit of time doing, I'm not sure what. He was very close to being able to pick up that BKB a couple of minutes ago, and he's still good. He's basically got it now, but I mean a lot more net worth being given over to Team Spirit. Kill, and while this was happening, they actually got a double stun at the same time onto both the Shadow Shaman and the Chen. Enable that follow-up to happen. Chrysalis wanted to be part of that team fight. He was zoning out Toronto Tokyo, doing a pretty decent thing, but again, I feel like fits best when he's playing in this like more off-lane style position 1, but this is a game where he needs to be the one to close it out. He needs to be in on the front lines with the rest of his team and prioritizing his own farm a little bit more. Still 4th on net worth, not terrible, but I think now that he's picked up that BKB, there's no excuse. You got to group up with the rest of the team and you got to go. Maybe they get tier 3 neutral items before they choose to do it. I feel like now's the time. 5 of them seem to be pumped up together. They might just look to use Rezo as bait, maybe baiting someone to move down to this bottom tier 1 tower, and then look to make an aggressive move elsewhere.
I have a lot of vision to play with though in secret. And I need a ward dropped as soon as the smoke pops, and again, Mirror's positioning is on point. Kia reads exactly where they are, and now they're going to look to wrap around. They've got a ward towards the triangle so they can get themselves set up. Doom on cooldown for 20 seconds though.
He probably would have walked into his death there if not for the rocket coming out from Maposhka.
Dire's middle
now. Mira with the jump. Chen face checking. Not the easiest kill. Crystal's gonna jump over as well. Even with Zayats, her secret really want to take a deep team fight, but it's not the greatest start. As the Cloaks can buy them some spaces, Resolution's gonna charge down to the low ground, but collapses in with a Doom, and Yutoro's locked onto his target. They'll be able to kill off the Primal Beast, and now they're looking for more. Benicia with a chain control. Chrysalis has to fall up as well. A 1-for-1. They'll turn to try and deal with Toronto Tokyo as Chrysalis once again calls deeper into the left track for the roots for Yutoro, keeping him alive, and now they'll turn it back around. Benicia finding another Aegis just expired. The Aegis just expired. The worst timing possible for Team Secret, as now Yutoro will reign supreme along with the other members from Spirit. What a team fight for them to take, and now they are in firm control of this game 1.
Oh, what a back and forth game. Roller coaster. Even in the middle of team fights, it's like, which way is it going to go? They made the amazing initiation through on Rezo, but no hesitation. Just dropping the Doom onto him. He wasn't able to get the uproar. Didn't provide the slow for the rest of his team, but more importantly, just didn't have the potential to have that extra armor to survive the burst coming through from the Troll Warlord. Onto 3, but yeah, just that instant turnaround coming. Collapse, react effectively, and
tower is under attack.
Back and forth, stun after stun, back and forth. The patience coming through, realizing that they weren't going to be able to take out the Ursa instantly. They don't give the attention over to him. They say, let's take out the crowd control first. The root, the lucky root coming through, enabling Toronto Tokyo just to get away. That Aegis expiring in 3, 2, 1, and there it's gone.
Anisha tried to do it in those fights. Multiple rounds of spells being casted, but we just see once he gets stuck inside the middle, the Infernal Blade percent damage is just doing so much to him. To be ever so cautious with the position. If he can dance in and out, ideal for them, but Spirit have a gigantic lead now, 7,000. They're going to make the attempt up top. Collapse has got some boys behind him. Let's see if he's going to be able to survive long enough, and he does indeed. At BKB in the turnaround, the Goons have shown up. No one will fall on Spirit. Everyone playing together in unison. They will make sure that Collapse lives and his counterpart offlaner will go down.
And it's just going to become harder and harder for Team Secret. They've put themselves pretty heavily into this early-ish game. I said, are they going to finish in 30 minutes or not? Still got tier 3 towers standing and under no threat of looking to go down. And as soon as you pick up even more of these tanky items like Toronto Tokyo, he's got the plate mail. He's going into the Shiva's guard, going to slow down a lot of these right clicks coming through from the Tiny, who still can scale with this build that he's got. He's going to need to get that BKB to reliably feel like he can go into the middle of a team fight and not get caught out by the likes of the Infernal Blade, the damage coming through from Toronto Tokyo, as well as Mira on point again so many times with those stuns from the Nyx Assassin.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Just seems like it has to be the perfect ebb and flow of these fights for Secret. In and out, just continue to kite them.
Top tower is under attack.
Who is that target that they have to firstly jump and try and clean off and then maybe have the advantage?
Gotta be Collapse. Absolutely has to be. I mean, he completely locks down the effectiveness of an Ursa. Same sort of thing with the Primal Beast. So if you're able to get in onto him, he doesn't have the buyback right now. That's going to be the main priority target, but he's doing a great job shoving out this bottom lane as making another move, try and find a key pick-off with the Shadow Blade, with the double damage and the level 18, but collapses out. Spidey senses just enabling him to join the rest of his team, and maybe now they go for a smoke and exchange. Shiva's guard freshly picked up. Even with the Satanic, I mean, all these timings linking up together, and they're going to use Toronto Tokyo as bait with how tanky he is. Preemptively using the Bloodstone there on the wave.
Fine. Sure. One on the high ground as well. Smoke's gonna pop. Tide's actually gonna jump into the middle and into his death. Nisha will fall up. They're gonna try and blow up Miro. They'll be fortunate being able to do so. But now they've got a free angle to target down with the Ursa. Doom out and look at the damage! Yatoro just cleans him up with ease, and it's up to Resolution to turn this back around. A pulverize onto Yatoro with sides positioning, but Spirit, they've got 3 cores nearby. They can protect the troll and look to try and clean up the remaining forces, as there will be no escape for the Primal Beast.
Does feel like it's fallen out of their hands, doesn't it? They even picked up the gems, so they're going to be able to maintain control over the map, keep these lanes pushed in. No buybacks right now. Or Team Secret.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Just looking to move on forward. He had the Aghanim Scepter queued up for quite some time, and I was thinking, what's he thinking about here? But say the Satanic just enabling him to stay in there, lock in onto a target, and they didn't get that initial jump onto Collapse, which meant that the Doom getting in onto Crystallis and his Ursa, he just didn't deal any damage at all in that team fight.
Are you sure? Are they going to look for a toss back? Crystal's teaming in as well. It's only Toronto Tokyo behind. This might be an opening, but...
He's got the battle trance again.
Satanic and back up to full health. Why am I not again? It's a repeat of the last fight. Now Nisha as well. The Infernal Blade.
They might need to call it.
Is making the Tiny crumble under the damage, and that'll be all she wrote as Spirit. They withstand the early aggression, and they, in the end, will be able to take it 23 minutes in.
What a game by Collapse. Easily MVP for Mike getting away from the laning stage. A good 2,000 net worth ahead of everyone else on the team. You know, some good scouts coming through from Mira for sure, but Collapse, God, for a good reason. Ending that one in just about the amount of time that you were expecting. Secret had this window that they needed to close the game. And they just weren't able to accomplish it through a couple of little overextensions, a couple of uses of the BKB that didn't enable them to fully fight as a team, and they didn't find that key target in the Doom to be able to start the team fight onto, which really hindered the effects of multiple of their heroes in those fights.
Such a close game for quite some time, though.
về rồi. Phải nghĩ ra được cách. Cha hãy nhanh kiểu thêm vài ngày nữa. Đây là cơ mà để gia đình chung quyết định. Nhiều khi phải ăn nữa. Cha hậu trọng nhé. Đã từng tiếp tục liên để rồi. Tới xong ca. Làm gì vậy? Các người lùi xuống. Bảo quay chào bờ. Qua đi. Không qua đi. Yên xuống ca. Chuyện gì vậy? Nếu muốn đánh nhau, quỳ xuống đây đi. Tại có chuyện cấp tiền thôi. Bảo lên đi. Quýnh chờ nhé. Có chuyện gì vậy? Tại trong được biết không được ca và đợi chuyện của ca đã gây ra chuyện lớn rồi. Khi bị chốt trong đại lao, vì chỉ không biết cứu sẽ bị chém đầu nữa. Nhưng phải làm sao? Không phải là đến từ trường giết ngươi à? Chuyện này thế nào chứ? Đừng có thể chết mà không cứu, sẽ đánh ngươi đó. Xin cứu ca, tôi không phải như vậy. Tôi chỉ nói là hai ta làm sao mà cứu thôi. Chỉ là trước pháp trường.
Chúng tôi hy vọng cô ấy sẽ khỏe lại. Wow. Nhưng mà cảm giác là mấy ông anh game thủ này dính Covid nghe nó bị nặng nhỉ. Anh em mình Covid chơi điện tử vãi đái luôn. Hơi mệt mệt tí. Tôi Covid là nghỉ một hôm sau vẫn lên các giải bầm. Super Slandin à? Tôi tạm vậy. Super nào đấy? Khánh trông kênh nhá, anh bận quá, anh phải bay qua Singapore để hỗ trợ cho Royal Never Give Up này. Người ta gọi điện đến tận đây rồi còn gì nữa. Alo. Được rồi, từ từ. Nói tiếng Trung Quốc anh. Đang cắt nốt trận Spirit với cả team Spirit nhá. Biết rồi. Khổ quá, đặt vé máy bay đi. Tí người ta sao. Đã bảo là tôi giải nghệ rồi, bắt tôi phải cầm chuột mệt hết cả người.
Lừa phải lòng.
Quấy. Vừa lại nào. Vừa lại đó. Có sao không? Mấy quá chị vừa lại à?
Nói cái lồn gì. Văn nghệ đi tù.
Nghe là bảo là tới luôn. Không nói nhiều. Lại ai có gì bà? Đấy gọi là giao tiếp các thứ, nói tiếng qua thoại kinh luôn.
Chết rồi.
Đã đi tù rồi, bắt người ta phải ra tù. Em chơi CSGO nhiều mà, với cả xem phim Trung Quốc nhiều. Mấy câu nói tiếng Trung Quốc giao tiếp cơ bản biết đấy, cũng biết hết tí đấy anh em ạ. Nói bắt chước là cũng khá giống ấy. Anh em ơi, anh Hiếu sang thì dạy gì về bán. Chúng nó lại cười cho. Chúng nó lại tao bán suốt có bị sao đâu. Bọn tao có liên đoàn tổ chức thể thao gọi là bảo kê cho
Your turn to pick.
Liêm chính được lãnh đạo bởi anh đạo diễn Xeo 8, Hiệp hội Thể thao Liêm chính Trung Quốc. Thể thao điện tử Liêm chính Trung Quốc.
Ten seconds remaining.
Ôi rồi, idol của mình lại
5
online
seconds
rồi.
remaining.
Thì tôi phải vào xem idol của tôi đây. Tuy tôi đang live stream cho các bạn nhưng mà tôi cũng phải xem live stream của người khác. Tôi phải vào xem idol của tôi. Phương yêu màu tím. Chuyên gia thể loại Hero 3. Một hero. Vâng, bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đến với cả game đấu số 2 của team Secret cùng với cả team Spirit.
Lồn gì để hụ má mày trên tao mít luôn kìa.
Rõ ràng là Spirit lựa chọn một lap Snowball. Có Chen để có thể combat sớm khỏe. Có Usa để có thể Snowball. Nhưng mà đấy, cuối cùng bị con trôn nó dã cho vỡ hết cả đầu.
Lồn má chứ bố mà đi mít đủ đi Mỹ quá. Lồn răng trăm mấy đéo đi mít. Mày em không với lồn.
Đang trên thắng anh em ạ, vẫn là 7 năm nhưng mà đang cạnh tranh vị trí.
Má mày răng trăm đi mít đi đi mẹ em đi quá bay.
Thua mỗi PSG LGD thôi, còn lại là 2 trận thắng.
Xin tao đi mít mua bình chắc độ không má mày tiếu lắm.
Hôm qua thua
MVP liền. Mẹ.
Hôm qua là thua LGD.
Anh bay đánh chặt gì.
Hôm qua là OG hơi đuối. Một thua một hòa. Hòa Hokuri là hôm nay thì phải vừa cắt xong quên mất anh em ạ. Đúng rồi.
Prepare for battle.
Never in the long history of the earth has there ever been a battle more in the bag than this one. A trampled
nhưng mà hôm qua thì là có một trận thua. Thắng sau đấy. Ok. Hôm nay là một hòa rồi. Vừa hòa Hokuri trận anh em cắt. Trận phơi lẹt voi đấy.
A killing pace. Yes.
Cờ lóc dành cho bên phía team Spirit. Team Spirit thì họ vừa bán đi Masi, bán đi Primovit. Spirit thì họ bán đi cho mình SF và cả một con Let's Hoàng thân à? Hoàng thân đâu? Người ta bây giờ lên làm vua rồi anh em ạ. Kinh về Enigma.
30 seconds to battle.
Có được DTI đâu. Kinh cái gì
By horn and hoof.
Kinh này là bệnh kinh niên ở nhà. Năm ngoái là kinh cũng ở nhà đúng không anh? Nhà đâu nhà, dùng OG DTI đấy. Đúng rồi. Cũng có thể là OG gồng. Thật ra thì cái vòng loại năm ngoái thì Suville cầm DA đánh tăng mà. Vâng, như vậy là DotA xin cho bên phía team.
The battle begins.
Số 4 lượt ban đầu tiên thì có Masi.
Is that supposed to hurt?
Với cả một con Left.
Shatterbones.
Ba Primovit và Masi là lý thôi.
My steel thirsts.
Con tướng này khá là cẩn thận. Và đặc biệt là collab để anh em thấy cái phong độ collab chơi thì kinh khủng khiếp. Trận trước đánh một con Doom. Edward thì cứ ao so với cả co đội bạn khoảng 2-3k tiền. Sau đấy là chẳng qua phải đi đánh nhau. Hỗ trợ cho một lượng tham.
No goal for you.
Collab thì lúc nào cũng là cao. Enigma.
As I wish.
Okay, thử okay.
With steel and strength.
Hôm nay toàn trận tăng kìa.
Galloping.
Si chẳng gãy thì sao? Si ông ta nói bác bét bảo đây. Bên kia thì tôi đã tích đang đuối đây. Xong rồi buông được mấy ông Si đuối lát anh em ạ. Mấy ông Si chắc là
Dire's courier has been killed.
Hai ông vào được đến vòng trong mà là theo cái diện nhánh thua.
So I go.
Trận trước ông mới cao nhỉ?
Who dares challenge? Blood shall spatter. Yes. Attack! Bones to crack.
Theo như bị phạt là bị phạt từ under 23 của Sóc Nguyễn này. Dưới 23 phút.
Má chuột nó bị cái gì kỳ kỳ tháo vậy?
Nếu mà là hai team thua các đoàn team sớm hơn thì lại còn được rồi.
First blood.
Vấn đề về sức khỏe thật anh em ạ. Vấn đề sức khỏe thật. Bởi vì cô biết đi viện rồi. Bây giờ là Super phải thay. Super thì cũng là một ông đệ của tôi. Anh em biết tôi là Super Hiếu mà. Super thì bằng một nửa tôi thôi. Đệ tôi nhưng mà được cái là ông đệ đấy ở Trung Quốc. May được cái đoạn này. Tôi mà sinh ở Trung Quốc. Super cũng tuổi. Có vai đấy
Blood shall spatter.
Rất may trong Việt Nam là chúng ta đã
bottom 3.
Yes. Yes.
Má chuột bị cũng cắt gì ta.
Who dares challenge?
Đâu chỉnh gì đâu.
Don't think of my team. My goal now.
看。
Nó đâu có bị cái gì đâu ta.
Cắt tơ mà ngược mồm cắt hải kiểu gì bạn ơi. Cắt tơ ngược mồm chết thật. Đúng rồi, lấy mất cái đoạn mà bảo không biết ngược mồm làm gì thì là đúng rồi. Nó là rõ ràng là như vậy luôn.
A Kobe's fools attack me.
Gotcha.
Tôi và ở Trung Quốc thì tôi không bị đi tù đâu, tôi chỉ
Your top tower is under attack.
Chán phải lộn chuột.
Rồi lôi thế làm video vào là sao vậy thôi.
Your top tower is under attack.
With steel and strength. A double blade. Downward stroke. Shatter bones.
Nếu mà sẽ là lần đầu thì quát tôi thì lên đâu anh quen sợ là gì đâu.
Má chỉnh chuột lại chắc. Khựng vải lồn.
Xin lỗi anh Tào, tại mấy thằng kia nó không nghe lời cái thứ các kiểu. Anh Tào diễn quả đạt thật buồn mặt đúng kiểu diễn quả tao diễn quả kéo lại mặt tim rét luôn.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Sao tao là bố của diễn viên đấy. Anh Tào đã đạo
Rất khó chịu vậy. Mẹ chuột bị con cặc gì á.
DotA 2 quay lưng lại xin lỗi anh Tám ngay. Diễn khéo thật, diễn khéo mà không, nhưng mà tôi thì đùa đùa đấy thôi anh em ạ. Tôi thì cũng không nghĩ là chung kết ai sẽ bán, nhưng mà cái đoạn bảo là anh Tám chưa bán bao giờ thì là điêu. Tôi kéo tin. Còn chung kết TI thì tôi cũng ngờ ngợ khoảng độ, theo tôi thì tôi sẽ đoán khoảng độ là có khoảng độ 40% có thể là bán. Tôi chỉ tính là tầm đấy thôi, lại cao tầm đấy thôi, còn không chắc. Silencer và Beatmaster dành cho các thành viên về phía Team Spirit. Trong khi đó thì Team Spirit có bên và Eric Mang. Có xác suất.
Blood shall spatter.
I come.
Hơi xíu tanh kìa.
Death runs.
Tôi cũng có ngồi nghiên cứu với cả mấy anh em. Bọn tôi nghiên cứu là đá. Game 2 thì là tôi thật bị
Okay, you're
sẩy
there.
chân. Đoán một game thôi. Ai ở game 2 sẩy chân nên thành ra là không được 3 game sau là không dùng được.
Yes.
Hai game thôi.
My blade sing.
Quay trở lại trận đấu này thì là team Philippines thì là có bên cùng với cả Black này.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
As I wish.
Đó, đừng có kéo lại rồi.
Was that supposed to hurt? Bones to crush. Attack! These fools attack me! So I go.
Kéo đủ má. Mấy lần. Đó là vào nổi luôn kìa.
Nhưng mà nếu đúng là ban giàu thì anh em có thể lựa chọn hai món đồ để ra sơ lại, đó là linh đen có hai món đấy là không phải đâu.
Who dares challenge?
Thêm cái lâu tốt. Nhưng mà cũng là Big Assassin.
Break you.
Còng chân còng tay luôn đấy, không biết là có đẩy của tiêu không.
Galloping. With steel and strength. Downward strike. Yes.
Con el wombo combo perfecto.
Shatter bones. I fear no beast. Yes. A caress. Blood shall spatter. Yes.
Your top tower is under attack.
My steel thirsts.
Anh nghĩ là early thì tạm được.
My withers twitch. So I go.
Đi lẹt được, ăn tay dài. Series mà đi được là Enigma phải là những con sniper mà sniper thì không sợ Enigma.
Shatter bones.
Tay dài dài một chút là có khả năng.
Your top tower is under attack.
Nam TB bây giờ thì ở trong lượt pick cuối thì team Philippines thì họ sẽ phải là người lát trước.
Your top tower is under attack. Your top tower has fallen.
Mà có khả năng phút nhà sớm không?
As I wish. Yes. These fools attack me. Galloping. Death bears golden fruit.
This should make my life easier.
Yes.
Được, Luna đi lại.
By horn and hoof.
Đấy thì tôi đang nghĩ đến một con mà có thể kết hợp cùng cả Big Master.
I fear no beast.
Luna tay dài như cả Enigma chặn được. Luna mà đi lên ổ thì farm rừng ra. Ôi Spec á. Con này tôi không nghĩ tới luôn đấy. Ôi Spec ở đây nào.
Shatter bones.
Come on, sprites.
Killing pace. Who dares challenge?
Sao lại Spec à?
Double damage.
Your top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Galloping.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Coin for my purse. Chop open. My strength grows. Yes. Death runs.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
The flick of my tail. A double blade, but heavy.
Nghe đã không thấy có lợi thế nhiều, không có
Your middle tower is under attack.
Crushing denied.
Sở Bách thì có thể kết hợp cùng với cả
Your middle tower is under attack.
Sở Bách bay ra thì Pango lại bóng tạm được.
Steel and strength.
Không hỗ trợ liên tục ở trong cái đoạn gọi là bắt lẻ đâu nhá. Con Sở Bách này nó phải giữ cái hăn để có bắt tổng. Còn nếu mà muốn đi hỗ trợ bắt lẻ đồng đội liên tục thì nó phải lên chợ xanh, nó phải có cái
attack
mới được. Xanh nó mata, nó hỗ trợ đồng đội bắt lẻ nhanh được.
Break you.
Nếu như nó lên dùng
Attack. Crush.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Shatter bones. Invisibility.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Cáu thật sự luôn đấy, cái motor này này. Cái này cho anh
Lucky find.
tuy là anh thích nhiều cái quái dị đấy, nhưng mà cái này với anh là nó bị quái dị quá. Anh là cái set này này, đúng là cái set này như thế này. Cái set này mang theo mà.
It's not time yet. Tranquility and death runs. No, I'm not ready. My horn. My name shall live on.
Má chuột bị con cặc gì nữa là để chỉnh lại coi. Khó thế gì?
Chỉ cần mạnh một chút xong xuống phối hợp với đồng đội là xong. Collab cầm một con Beatmaster nhưng mà đi với cả Blood và bên. Toàn móm kêu không thích vẫn mua xài á. Đâu tôi có xài được cái này rẻ mà anh em. Cái này thì mấy chục bạc còn chẳng tới. Cái này xấu á, cái này cho tôi không phải dùng. Phải mấy cái xịn cơ, mấy cái đắt tiền cơ. Mấy đắt tiền thì thôi, thì xấu một tí không cho thì chắc mình vẫn lấy. Rồi mấy cái rẻ thì thôi. Khó chịu đấy. 3 run dành cho bên phía team Spirit. Tuy là con Clock này nó bị harass, nó bị dí theo, nhưng mà nó có 3 run không chết được. Đấm tay thêm 1-2 cái thôi, thì có Willy chạy nhanh lắm. Lên đây lại ăn đấm đấy. Thôi đi hướng khác đi Mimoska thôi, chứ con bên này nó cực quá rồi. Lại đi xuống cái dưới này thì con bên nó lại chặn ở đây này. Ôi lô. Chạy nhanh không sao. Còn ăn tango mà. Không giết được đâu. Giết được xin số tài khoản PayPay cho triệu luôn. Donate triệu. Anh ơi. PayPay hay chết với Black lắm.
Má khó quá ta, chuột trộn quá tự nhiên bị thận ta.
Ăn được cái con Black này thì là anh donate triệu ngay. Giết vào mắt. Sao con Black nó vẫn lắc quay ở đây là TV luôn đi. Triệu nào ở đây đang muốn ở dưới này là Master solo với cả Black à. Là cứ đứng treo nhau ở lên thôi.
Need mercy.
Mất 1 triệu bây giờ.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not ready.
Go.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
It's not time yet. Double kill. Bones to crush.
Ngủ khi đủ má mày.
As I wish. Galloping. Tremble before me. Killing peace.
Postcard kéo được quay clip về. Mbappé cũng sẽ dí kèo đi ngay.
Yes.
Mbappé đúng là người có kinh nghiệm farm lính có khác. Đây chỉ Mbappé luôn. Đi ngay được một con thôi nhưng đấy cũng là tốt rồi.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Well earned.
Can farm, go farm.
Downward strike.
Can give me. I need it.
Shatterbones. Yes. My blade sings. It's not time yet. My horn and hoof.
Kèo này thì không nên gặp quá nhiều ở Commando.
A
chờ đợi cái master collab hoặc là
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Don't kill. Don't kill him.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Don't kill.
As I wish. Attack!
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Time yet. The flick of my tail.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Yes, speed sings my today's challenge.
Đang pick ba cái giày nhưng có vẻ hơi xa xôi.
Galloping.
Gặp phải con gà biết đúng là con Bango này ý chí đang bị thử thách rồi. Ăn chém nước liên tục.
Your top tower is under attack.
Shatterbones.
Con Bango thì nó đang thọt rúi rồi.
Yes.
Anh em Thailand đánh nhau rồi để sắp bot chết rồi thì đi ra biết sang bot đồ má. Cái con Bango này nó farm được 19 clip và đến giờ nó đang phải bú bình máu to liên tục. Tức là đã farm được ít rồi lại còn
Give me. Give me. Oh my god. Dude.
Người đang di chuyển ra nick trước thì lại là một con nick Asin này. Một con nick này của là hướng đến cái việc cắm mắt ở trên đường cao.
Oh my god.
Và phải giật người luôn.
Oh my god.
My blade.
Yes.
I'm not ready. What have this?
Lại phải mang ra.
Chúng ta đi với là
I come here. I have BKB. I come here, dude.
A caress. These fools attack me. Fear. Your name shall be forgotten.
Oh, it's okay. Let me die, it's okay.
Okay, bro. You sound good.
Okay, let me die, just let me die, it's okay.
Vớt được cái bao tia kìa bạn, sạc lại 2 trạc bot tùm. Tiếp tục là thở oxy để hít vậy, không biết làm nào. Không thấy anh em nào ý ơi. Không thấy
I'm not ready.
Bảo P ở Silent.
By horn and
Có dí vào về solution này. Last word sẽ nổ ra. Và cái lượng đam
Hey,
tay.
I want.
Khéo này.
downward strike.
Đây rồi. Thêm một con gà.
Yes.
Chết. hơi buồn nhưng mà tôi nghĩ rằng là Toronto Tokyo vui. Đây mày quá, có thằng Sabot nó chết rồi. Tao biết Sabot tôi không chờ gì nữa. Cao bắt đầu di chuyển.
Ross will lose. Okay, we the PKB.
Thế thì là Silencer, ok. Không phải là con Club thì cũng phải là con Silencer nhá. Một trong hai ông sắp nhá.
Your top tower is under attack.
Not yet. It's not time yet.
Silencer TV lên top để cứu em ạ. Xong
Not yet.
và lại là chẳng có gì
I'm not ready.
Your top tower is under attack.
ăn được không mới là đây dưới bot chắc được. Nhanh không ăn cái ích là mất luôn cái double ra nó có.
Your top tower is under attack.
Bao đừng là phải né. Vẫn được. Bây giờ xe lửa bốt để dí ngược lại. Mà con ca này nó thả đầu. Sẽ là bắt đầu ra sau. Sẽ là một lại tên cả đa của Silencer. Lại chém luôn cái đầu để làm cực kỳ khỏe. Ca sẵn sàng để chơi luôn. Nisha không có gì phải sợ ở đây cả.
It's not time yet.
Hay đến từ Nisha.
A lucky find.
Cô lắp lại đang đuổi. Có một con xe nào sẽ đang đến đây làm ngủ.
Not yet.
Ngủ đến thì cô lắp chạy đi đâu đây? Không có để
Mẹ ngủ quá bày ồ.
định làm cơm thêm chăng? Vẫn đang lùa. Cô lít đang đuổi vào một chiếc cô lắp thì cô cả đóng lại rồi. Đóng lại rồi đánh bót rồi. Vẫn đang có sập bắt xuống cô lắp. Rồi. Cô lắp yếu lắm rồi mà lắp đoài được vẽ ra được cơm mèo đấy. Vẫn đang dí theo. Bà bê không cương còng được ở đây rồi. Hồi lượng máu và đó là Bravo. Tôi cũng chiêu.
It's not time yet.
Chỉ cần vẽ.
Not yet.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Cái vòng méo xẹo luôn đấy, chill.
So I go.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Có tàu, có nước không? Nước đặt vào có ích. Tàu tới nơi, lượng đam chưa đủ. Nhưng bây giờ là nước và chém nước vào. Nhà tổ đồ con tổ mạng ở đây có mặt và đó là năm.
I'm not ready.
Mắc.
Lấy được thêm một mạng nữa của Glove.
Low mana.
Làm tiếng đấy. Tiếng anh em ạ. Mỗi con còn 1-2 hit thôi. Nhưng mà TV trốn về được hết. Dưới này Glove đang tận dụng cuộc sống.
Your top tower is under attack.
Có thể ép vào cái trụ của boss này. Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đẩy sang network. Tôi thì tinh thần như là cái pha sử
Your top tower is under attack.
Cũng là đang làm được, là có network anh em ạ. Và hai con còn lại đến từ bên dưới đang rất giàu. Enigma của người solution là sắp sửa có bắt ách rồi. Còn Kunka đi biết trong tay Ninja thì là đang lên thẳng BQE. Cũng là sắp sửa có 2 mảnh rồi.
Yes.
73 là sau chuyến sinh đang về cái việc đánh nhau.
A caress.
Shot này sẽ đưa Club về nhà rất nhanh thôi. Đây rồi, Club đã được gói lại về nhà. Đang có squad Marco, Nick Assassin.
Ma chục.
Không phải là quả bóng. Tolit có đắc chờ bóng của Toronto đang lăn. Toronto quyết định cancel đi quả bóng của mình rồi. Bên tới nơi ngủ một người, set up blood ride. Và bây giờ thì bên phía team Secret mới là người đánh hay. Double kill dành cho anh trai tinh thể. Đấy, nhìn cái vòng lần này trông nó uy tín đúng không anh em? Cái vòng mà con Van Gogh ở con Silencer là đứng ở gần giữa tâm đấy, nhìn trông nó hợp lý. Ổn ngay. 10 kill dành cho bên phía team Secret. Và họ đang dẫn 3k tiền rồi. Một cái early thắng giúp cho Secret đang dễ đánh ở giai đoạn đầu mid game này. Bên kia chiến tuyến thì vẫn lại là Collab đánh kèo 1. Yatoro God thì trận này anh ta không bị counter nhiều lắm, vẫn đang được farm. Bị chết có một mạng thôi. xanh hơn so với cả
Mai căng nhất.
Còn Pago trận này thì là chịu rồi đấy. Bopco, Rapture, xong đi mid với Kunka, toàn ác mộng thôi.
Lộn mái căng nhất.
Này nếu như mà thua thì có lẽ là Toronto Tokyo thì mơ thấy cái con Kunka đặt nước mất. Đi mid tắc thở rồi. Bây giờ phải di chuyển cùng đồng đội hỗ trợ những cao cờ ganh, những cái tình huống của đối phương lùa vào. Nick Assassin đang tới nơi, Yatoro lộ hình, nhưng có Silencer, có Pagolier ở đây. Có lẽ là nên dừng lại đến từ Zayat thôi. Bên phía của team Spirit họ đang bám lấy nhau mà sống, níu giữ lấy nhau mà sống để cho Collab đi một mình farm. Collab sẽ là đánh kèo, cố gắng đánh ở tầm thời điểm mid game. Collab đang rất giàu, 5.700 tiền. Chúng ta lại thấy hình bóng của 33 với một con Beatmaster ngày hôm qua chăng? No. Bảo là 33 thì chưa bạn. 33 là phút thứ 13 là vác ra cái mặt bắt to rồi. Còn Collab thì vẫn đang thiếu 1.000 tiền nữa. Cũng tăng nhưng mà chưa bằng 33 được. Spec thì sao? Zatorogot, Giáp Phản, Bầu Chít, Manta gậy xanh. Cần phải có những cái món đồ đấy đã thì mới có thể liên tục đi hỗ trợ đồng đội. Tần này là tìm thấy thôi đấy. Sẽ là chơi ai? Có thêm quả TB của Black, thế là X lại này, tả tàu này. Bây giờ thì sẽ là một cái to đừng thêm vào nữa. Mira có cho mình Global Silent, không dùng.
Quá chuột chán quá.
Sẽ là không cứu được.
Tự nhiên cái đường bị mất độ mất kết nối xong cái
làm nhanh đôi mạng.
Let's go, let's move.
Sớm luôn ngay từ đầu thì maybe nhỉ. Có thể nhưng mà khi mà đã là X đầu rồi thì chắc là thôi.
bị cái lồn gì vậy?
Tiếp theo.
Dedos. Go.
What the fuck? Má nó lại bị hết cây nữa rồi bay ơi. Nó lại bị hết cây đủ má mày. Đéo tin được luôn con cặc. Chán phải lồn. Nó lại bị hết cây lồn gì nữa rồi. Má nó quạo quá mày. Theo lít chuột lại là để ý mẹ nó bị linh đi.
Chết ở đây du ngủ này. Set up. Không có 1 trong 2 đi. Khi mà đối phương đang là giáp phản. Có muốn Black Hole không? Có sờ tan. Bây giờ thì Midnight Pools. Không Black Hole với Atorogot.
Má nó quạo quái con cặc luôn á. Lít chuột lại bị linh đi á.
Hỗ trợ cho người đồng đội của mình bây giờ cổ. Và con Pago nó sẽ chết ở đây. Trong khi đó thì đang lao rất nhanh đến từ anh trai tinh thể tìm vào vị trí. Tôi đang bảo là dùng 1 trong 2. Ý tôi là muốn dùng cái bóc cổ tên đấy để bếp cái rơi bồn hai lần.
Đúng má chuột bên đi kìa.
Với solo sự đều tiếc. Tôi thì mất Enigma.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Lãi rồi. Pango thì khổ quá. Còn Pango mà bị dính cả Rapture cả bóc cổ. Đơn Rapture thì hơi phí bởi vì bóc cổ lại thì có lát được đâu. Rapture hơi phí thì không sao, không có giả được mạng. Rồi bắt lẻ thêm một con Silencer. Mỗi Collab là Collab thì vẫn chưa di chuyển nhiều, vẫn đang tập trung, đang đẩy.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Yes.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Thirsts. Illusion, as I wish.
Dire structures are fortified.
Not yet.
Mày bắt. Mày bắt.
It's okay. I solo kill.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Lồn quá, kẹt phải lồn.
Thiêu ra.
Attack.
我他妈死了，我操！
Call
BCD我操
Get back. Wow.
You are most
ta đi
killing
Sờ bách không thua nhưng mà nét
Kia kia sao đó
cơ bản là tôi không hiểu là phát huy
gallantly.
ta
Monster kill.
cứ là có luôn tài thật sự đấy.
Sinistray, I think.
Tôi tất để giải Global Silent đấy.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Giải cho nó là đứng bóc cổ luôn đấy. Má cầm mấy con
Radiant structures are fortified.
đây cầm một con bên vẫn có nét vuốt không hiểu rình farm chuột ở đâu cũng được 30 này là hit này tài thật cầm tay farm xem là farm chuột cái len nào đấy.
The enemy's bottom barracks has fallen.
Không để ý là con bên di chuyển thế nào.
The enemy's bottom barracks has fallen.
Haste. Unlucky find. Yes. Godlike. It's not.
Kill him. Let's go, kill him.
Steal it. Not yet. Yes. It's not
The
time yet.
enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
Wow.
My blade's safe. A caress.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
It's not
The
time
enemy's
yet.
middle tower has fallen.
Flick of my
Sao kia.
thirsts. It's not time yet. Down.
Your top tower is under attack.
Not yet. Break you.
Dire victory.
Tango
Okay,
chuẩn bị
mày.
Linken rồi đấy. First này cầm Linken, first thôi gì nữa. Thì bạn vừa Rapture
Quá chỉnh
vừa
trục.
bên bóc cổ lên Linken gấp. Không đi full, đóng thẳng cho mình trước Linken luôn. Pape di chuyển ra, Pape ngựa giò và Pape sẽ ra đi trong khỏe thế hả rồi. Dù ngủ lại và chưa chết bởi vì trên người có một cái xác 1004 rất giàu đến từ Pape. Ritolip đang muốn tìm vào collab nhưng collab cũng đã trốn mất rồi, đó là Global Silent cho cẩn thận để đưa collab về. Khỏe các bạn, khỏe, thật sự khỏe luôn. Không, Linken còn hơn nhé. Linken còn hơn cái Lotus. Cái Linken mà anh em xe lửa bốp mà dính Rapture thì là phá được đúng không? Còn nếu mà Lotus thì vẫn bị dính Rapture, phản lại được thôi. Mà cái việc mà đang xe lửa bốp mà dính Rapture thì phế. Còn con Black nó Rapture nó bị phản lại thì nó đứng im thôi. Còn con Pango mà dính Rapture thì phế luôn, không lăn được. Vẫn đang rất căng bên phía của team Secret thì họ đã đẩy người ra khu vực lane mid. Vừa bắt được vào vị trí của Silencer rồi. 27, 21 phút 5k tiền. Không quá nhiều, không đến nỗi áp đảo hoàn toàn team Spirit. Spirit thì họ vẫn có cơ hội với cả con Spec về late game. Thế nên là họ cứ thong thả và farm thôi. Pago thì sắp có Linken rồi, thiếu một chút tiền nữa thôi. Quay clip nữa là sẽ có Linken. Spec cũng đã tuyên chuyển công tác xuống khu vực lane bot. Bởi vì dưới này họ khai thác đến tận chỗ 3 của đối phương rồi. Ao mà farm. Còn trên top bây giờ mới là đi lấy chỗ 2 đến từ bên phía của team Secret. Kulka có mặt ở clip này, đây là hút shot thẳng vào mặt Kulka, đó là Primoro và Spec lên chém là quá đau. Mạng của Nisa 600 tiền dành cho Yatoro. Con Spec nó được búp 600 tiền. Đây rồi. Secret họ cần phải snowball căng hơn nữa. Cái lap này không phải là một lap quá mạnh về dạng late game. Có một con Enigma nhưng Enigma lại vướng Silencer, thành ra rất khó có thể sử dụng cái Black Hole. Trong khi đó Kunka, Blood thì anh em biết rồi, hai con này late game yếu, không thể nào bằng Spec được. Bắt lẻ được một con Glock. Bên này thì sẽ là xe lửa bốp. Quyết định là thôi, khi biết rằng là có Lincoln, định giơ tay bóp cổ đấy, nhưng mà biết là có Lincoln nên là thôi, để cho Pango lăn về vậy. Bây giờ network chỉ còn là 3k tiền thôi. Team Spirit đang tương đối khỏe rồi. Con Spec nó vừa được mạng 600 tiền, nó đang ngang network nhà Nisha. Cách biệt giữa Cryptolith và nó không đáng bao nhiêu. Con Spec này cứ kéo về late đi. Về late game thì em nghĩ là cái mục tiêu mà con Spec nhắm vào sẽ là Enigma. Cần một tên Global Silent và Spec sử dụng Horn hoặc là gậy xanh khi mà phát hiện vị trí của Enigma thôi, còn Enigma nó sẽ bốc hơi luôn. Lên hẳn á, lên hẳn không được. Enigma bởi vì nó chẳng có BB. Không được em ạ, phải bình tĩnh thôi, vẫn phải giữ lại cái có thể là Spec sẽ dí vào, nhưng mà không phải là với Global Challenge mà là với cái Raw với Master.